Hey, 7 o'clock straight up. Dave Globin, Boogie with the Bull. Thursday Night Live is on the air. If you're on the Dave Globin profile, you are watching it live. If you're on the Boogie with the Bull channel over there on YouTube, you are watching it live. Both have a live chat, which means if you want to be part of the broadcast, that is where you want to be. And we will be able to have you taking part in the broadcast. Give me just a second here to get, come on, modern technology. Don't you love it? There it is. The Dave Globin profile has the live chat going. The Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel has the live chat going. So come on in and tell me what is new and exciting. I'm not supposed to apologize. That's what people tell me. I apologize too much, but I apologize for not being here on Tuesday evening. I just wasn't up to it. Sometimes that happens, and you got to sit back and take a little bit of a rest and let your brain gel. And one way I want you to do that is make sure you are watching on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Matter of fact, we'll put it on the screen so you can read it. When you're not watching, wait a minute. Hold on. There we go. When you're not watching Boogie with a Bull on Tuesday and Thursday, because it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Saturday, go over to Rumble. There's the link on the screen for the American Rebellion channel and watch the American Rebellion. Jerry Michaels and Nikki Young, Daryl Rector, Jen Woodruff. I'm there a lot. Let's see. Robert Lawless, the Minnesota Madman, pops in, and it's a lot of fun. And I know that you've seen it. So remember the American Rebellion, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, over there on Rumble. If you want to come on to the Boogie with the Bull broadcast today, there is the link, okay? The link is on your screen. Either copy it down, type it in one by one, or message me, tell me to send you a link, and I will send you the link. My eyes are giving me a little bit of trouble today, so I had to be sure I very carefully typed it in and put it. So if you're in the Boogie Links group and you want to come on tonight, the link is posted in there. If you're Ichabod Palmer, you got a link sent to you. Jerry Michaels, you got a link sent to you. Jen Woodruff is off tonight on special assignment. Let's see. Randy Rhodes got a link, and let's see. I think I can't remember, so I have to go in and look. One other person did, in fact, get a link. Michael Anthony got the link if he's in the neighborhood, and it's free to drop by. So, it'll be a short Rumble rant, I guess, if no one else comes on the broadcast tonight. William Grant, my buddy, is watching in the Dave Globin profile over here on Facebook. Robin Brunson is watching over here on Facebook as well. And I guess I could, like I said, sometimes you just throw the link out and hope everybody can be here. And sometimes you just turn on the mics and the cameras and you do your best. So about the only thing I paid any attention to really today was kind of going off on a tangent. It's Nikki Haley and President Trump coming down to the wire to get the Republican nomination. And I guess you have to wonder, does Haley stay in long enough to force a brokered convention where she'd actually have to run against Trump for the nomination at the convention? And is that something the Democrats want to allow to happen, or do they want to get it down to the wire and go into the convention with Donald Trump having the delegates that he needs and just forget it? It's kind of 6 of one and a half dozen of the other. I honestly just don't know. Let's see. Good evening, Robin Brunson. As I said, Robin, glad to be here. I'm all excited. I psyched myself up. I looked at a whole bunch of things during the day. I took naps for naps and naps and naps and naps, and I'm just ready to go. Don't know if I have a lot of things don't know if I have a lot of things in my head ready to rock and roll. There is Stephen Ichabod Palmer. And always a pleasure to have you here. I'm hoping, what do you got that's exciting to tell us tonight, Mr. Palmer?
Oh, nothing on the good side.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Our county commissioners, they decided they was going to pull a fast one. They've been having meetings in secret and not letting the community know about it. Well, Sunday afternoon, I found out about a meeting that was coming up. It was open to the public, which they wasn't announcing it for Monday morning, 9 a.m. So I got put the information out there, and about 40 of us showed up. They had decided, without taking a vote or anything, they were going to shut down our jail, send all our inmates to another county, shut down all our dispatch. All our dispatch is going to be dispatched out of another county, and we got to pay $160,000 a year out of taxpayer dollars to take care of this.
And why are they doing this? Just to save that well, they're not saving the $160,000.
It stems back to our corrupt sheriff's administration. It's so damn bad here that we've had so many overturns. I mean, people getting hired and quitting as far as dispatch, jailers, deputies. It's that bad. I mean, this guy is like, he's the bottom of the barrel. I mean, he's scum of the earth. It's sad. And they're on call only. They only got a sheriff and a deputy in our county. I mean, if you want to break the law and get away with it, come to Mercer County, Missouri. Shit. I mean, we're going to have to police ourselves. It was a shit show. I had to sit right next to him, and I called him out on a couple of things. I didn't disclose everything I knew because there's some things going on behind the scenes as far as the attorney general. There's private lawsuits going on against this man. It's bad. You know, so I mean, we're fighting. It's not just up in D.C., it's at local level too, guys. Yep. It really is.
Yep. Robin, Jen Woodruff cannot be here tonight. She told me yesterday that she could not be here tonight. She's on special assignment. And Jerry gets a link delivered to him and in the Boogie with the Bull link group over there on Messenger. And I'm hoping he can be here. I'm hoping that he can be here. But honestly, if it came down to being here on Boogie with the Bull tonight or making sure he had enough internet for the Friday edition of the American Rumble, I would understand that he save it, conserve it, and be on the American Rebellion tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock. But I'm sorry I cut you off. Come on, go ahead.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
But,
no, like I say, this is not just at the federal level. We have problems at local levels all the way up. I see it all counties around here. I mean, it's not just.
Is the sheriff elected, or is the sheriff appointed, or what? How does it happen?
I think they cheated him in like they did Joe Biden. He won by 3 votes.
Okay.
You know, he was an outcast that came in here, and he went up against one of the other deputies that's been here for years, and he won by 3 votes. Now, mind you, his last name's Lopez, and we've been overrun by illegals here, so I don't know. I mean, they did a recount, they didn't do an audit, which Lawrenson County wanted us to do back in 2020. So, you know, I knew he was shady and a bad dude before he even was sheriff. I mean, back when he was a deputy, he was no good.
Okay.
But that's what we get, you know.
Well,
that's Joe Biden.
Well, we got to get people up in the great state of Missouri to realize it's now or never. It's crunch time, and get a sheriff in there that that does the job.
It honors his oath, you know.
Yeah. And I don't know what to say other than this is the year that if you've thought about, well, it's kind of late now because the election is coming up. And if you haven't formed the campaign committee already, it's kind of hard to get it all done before the November election rolls around. But I think 2024 is going to prove, as far as the House and the Senate go, if you've ever thought about running, this is the time that you should think about doing it. And I guess when the 2026 midterms roll around, you should be ready to run and run hard.
We'll see if we even have an election. I mean,
this is very true too. I have to keep getting out of bed every morning and looking and thinking that we're going to win this. I don't know how. We're going to win this. We're going to get Trump reelected. The only thing that would make it perfect for me would be if we, in theory, got him reelected with a Republican House and a Republican Senate. But that only works if the majority are true Republicans doing the job the right way and not any portion of rhinos who are holding a seat that's a Republican seat but operating as a Democrat. You know, what the hell is the point for that? And, you know, the regurgitation is the same every time I come on with the Boogie with the Bull broadcast. You know, people, if we don't start looking at this, we don't start figuring out what needs to be done and getting it done now, then like Ichabod just said, there may not be an election in 2028. But then again, I don't think the Democrats planned that there was going to be an election again after 2016.
2024.
You know, so, you know, I don't know what to tell people anymore. I really don't. And you know, anybody who wants, go ahead, Steve.
I've been calling the border information. That take our border back convoy. They are headed that way. A good friend of mine, Harold Floyd from Southern Missouri. He's going to contact me about 2 weeks ago. Asking me if I wanted to go. Which I'm not, but he's got his camper ready. He's getting ready to join the convoy. Headed down there, and I got a feeling this is going to kick off pretty serious stuff. State of Missouri is back in Texas, thank God.
Your audio is kind of muffled. I don't know if it's but your audio for a second there got really muffled. Okay, but Robin, the Boogie with the Bull, the Boogie with the Bull travel mug is destined to come out sometime in the summer. We have the vendor to get the travel mugs from. We just are waiting for the vendor that's going to make the logos for us to get put on the cup, and they will be out very quickly. I will show people. I like this. This is a beautiful mug. If you like drinking coffee out of ceramic mugs, this is a truly bipartisan mug. Boogie with the Bull ceramic mug. If you hold it in your left hand, you're a leftist socialist Democrat who watches Boogie with the Bull. If you hold it in your right hand, you're a conservative patriot doing the right thing and watching Boogie with the Bull. The only problem with it is that we found one vendor who can make them for us one at a time, and that means that the mug, which would normally be $10 by itself, is $20 because it's $10 plus $10 for shipping. So I don't push them very often because I don't want to make anybody pay $20 for the mug. The travel mugs are going to be a lot less, but that's neither here nor there. Steven, your audio any better?
I don't know. How's that sound?
It just sounds very, very muffled.
I'm going to have to get off here and come back on a different device.
Okay. All right. You'll pop back in?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll see if he comes back with a better device. It's, you know, this is what happens. We do our best, and everybody comes in with what they have. We're not the Bonginos. We don't have $1 trillion studios, and we just kind of do what we can with what we got. And what the heck happened there? There we go. But good evening, Melinda Brown Fortney tuned in, Jane O'Malley tuned in, and hopefully Ichabod will come back with audio that is so that everybody can hear. Otherwise, we'll just kind of go through the live chat for a little bit and see what happens. Like I said, Michael Anthony got a link. Jerry Michaels got a link. Let's see. Randy Rhodes got a link. Jen Woodruff cannot be here tonight. And if anybody else wants to pop in, you are welcome to do so. And sometimes it just goes the way it is. But like I said, I personally think that Nikki Haley should drop out. I think Nikki Haley should drop out. She should be done. And the only person left running for the Republican nomination becomes Donald Trump that has a chance of getting it, and we just put the matter to bed. But I know that's not how it's going to go. Melinda, our weather was beautiful outside. It was 85 degrees at about 4 o'clock when Don and I were out this afternoon. A little breezy, but it really wasn't too bad. Let's see how Stephen is now.
That better?
That is much better.
It's that computer. It's that damn computer.
Okay. Well, that is much better. Questions I can ask you is how is the butchering prepping going? Is that busy?
Yeah, we're busy. Did 8 today.
8 today.
Yep.
8 today.
Yeah, I ground up like 1,200 pounds of hamburger yesterday, which that's ground and packaging. That's a big deal. That's a lot.
A 1,200-pound package of hamburger?
Yeah, I ground up 1,200 pounds and packaged it by myself yesterday.
Oh, okay. I thought I was teasing you. I thought you meant that you had you made a 1,200-pound package of hamburger.
No, that's individual. Packing 1,200 individual packs. You know, 1-pounders and 2-pounders. It's a lot of work.
Yeah. Is it selling as fast as you get it out?
A lot of that is private people, but then we do a lot of retail, and like while we was doing the kill, there was people up in the front doing retail today, grinding and putting stuff out on our shelves. So yeah, it goes pretty fast. It really does.
Wow. Yeah. And let's see. Robin says it was here in Iowa, it was in the 30s and raining and foggy. And
same here.
It's winter. It's winter. It's I hope people are preparing and have everything that they need. And Melinda says it is ugly, raining, damp, and foggy. Yep. Well, like I said, up here in Clay County, northern Florida, it was 85 degrees, but there was a breeze, and it felt a little cooler than 85. But
right here on the Iowa Missouri border, it's been foggy and like in the 30s yesterday and today.
Today it's been raining all day and just nasty and foggy, and then it's kind of melting the snow off, but we still got quite a bit of snow.
Yeah. Well, that seems to be the problem with a lot of winter weather. You get that snow, it gets cold, it freezes, becomes a big block of ice, and then you don't get enough rain to get it out there fast enough. I don't know. I don't know what we can do other than get rid of Joe Biden, and maybe when we get rid of Joe Biden, all the things that they've been doing. Because I think that they are in some control of the weather because they have to be if they want to keep pushing this climate control narrative, because most people say and prove that climate control really is BS, but they'd have to be working with NOAA, National Oceanic and Atmosphere Administration, and every other.
I honestly think the chemtrails have something to do with the weather, because I have watched, and every time they spray some chemtrails, within 24 to 48 hours, we have some sort of bad weather, either rain, snow, something, every time.
Yeah.
And it's not coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences anymore.
Right.
I just don't,
Yeah. And I'm used to, we grew up in California where in Santa Clara County, where there often was a drought, and they did seed clouds. They seeded clouds to get any rain they could get out of them, any opportunity that they got. But to me, I think that's different than just spraying crap in the sky and then hoping you can get the clouds to rain it down on people. But,
Well, I think they can manipulate it. Hell, they manipulate every damn thing else. I mean, just saying.
Yeah. Robin says, but due to the rain and the snow here in Iowa, because we have been in a drought, and plus the farmers need it for their fields. They most certainly do.
That's true. Absolutely.
They most certainly do. But I guess by the same token, that if China owns all this farmland in here that they're not doing anything with, I hope typhoons flood it all and they can't grow anything on it for a long time. But then again, that's a touchy subject with me. I still think that we should be able to take back all of that land, that no other country should really be allowed to own a significant piece of another country's farmland. Just like they shouldn't be able to come over here and buy oil fields and own oil fields, or whatever else they may.
They got 20,000 acres owned here in our county.
Yep.
So, and the way they did that back when they first bought this, it was an American company. It was known as PSF when it was first established 25, 30 years ago. They come in and they bought different farms, big farms around here that were selling out, farm that was going belly up. And so all these big hog farms and these big barns were scattered all over the county. And then over in the adjoining county and in the county below that, that's where they got the big plant. So.
All right.
Yeah, Randy, I wanted to talk about that.
Yep.
Randy
has a link, and Randy, if you want, Randy, you're more than welcome to come on. Come on. I don't know who will show up in the course of the broadcast tonight, Randy, but if you're able to, Randy, you are more than welcome to come on and join us. But go ahead, Stephen.
Yeah, that's going to be I'm concerned about our convoys headed down there, because I think they're going to be going into something that they're probably not expecting or going to anticipate. With Biden and threatening our National Guard and Abbott, I think it's going to get really interesting here in the next few days. My personal belief.
If Biden thought, well, he can't, sending F-16s in is just something that a crazy president says, because he doesn't have the authority to do that, does he?
I don't believe he does. I don't think he's got the authority to do shit. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, he's a treasonous. I mean, he's already committed treason. That border being open, that's an act of treason.
Right, but I mean, it's an act of war if he were to send F-16s in.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And he, as president, can't declare war. And I would be very concerned if Congress, whether it's Democrat or Republican, would allow a president to declare war on a state.
Well, it's happened before, hasn't it? Civil War. I mean, essentially that's kind of based. You know, it's happened before.
It's happened before, and I think if
hi Randy,
if Biden sends the F-16s down to Texas, will that launch the Civil War in the United States?
Well, first of all,
I just mean anybody everywhere who doesn't want Biden to be the president anymore. It's not a North-South Civil War or an East-West Civil War. It's a Civil War that hopefully leads to Biden being removed.
Well, first I think that the recording where it's supposedly Biden saying, "I'm going to send F-16s to Texas and teach those cowboys a lesson." Did he say that? Maybe. I mean, look at the stupid shit he's saying. He's at a beer distributor, and he's talking about the beer, and he kind of like he might have been doing some taste testing before this. He came out onto the podium. If he truly said that, first off, I think he'd need Congress to prove the F-16s being launched, because it's not like our country is being attacked where he has to launch F-16s. Well, let's just say, for giggles and laughs, he sends F-16s in. Well, Lord knows, Governor Abbott really doesn't have anything to shoot them down with if they were to fire down onto the ground. I would think that, that the pilots may launch. They may fly over as a threat to see if Abbott would back down. If he doesn't waver and the F-16s are coming on to target, they'll report back to their base. Hey, we're approaching target. Do we have a green light? Are we to launch our missiles, whatever? And if they're given the command to launch, the commander of that flight has the option to say and turn his flight around and go back to the base and face the consequences. I don't think we're going to fire on our own people. Okay, right. At least not from an F-16 standpoint. Maybe roll up some tanks, or some armored vehicles again as a threat. But the last I heard, I think there were like 15 states sent their National Guard to
we did.
Order.
Yeah,
Missouri did.
15 states. 15 states actually sent their National Guard, and I think Abbott said that overall there are 25 of the 50 states right now that support what he's doing 100%.
So you got half the country saying "screw you" to Biden. Right now, at this point, Abbott would be hard put to turn tail and run, because if he does, then his word means absolutely nothing to anyone moving forward. He has to stick to his guns. Biden has.
But I think, this goes deeper than that, because if Joe Biden, the president of the United States, it's different if he sends some F-16s and they do low buzzes over the border to try to scare people in Texas to take the razor wire down and take their fences down. But if the United States of America, if the United States military shoots down, is shooting from above to knock down the borders of the United States of America, something is screwed there. And I just don't see how a military professional can okay that order.
The sad thing is that he is the commander in chief. So theoretically, according to the the laws of the military. If a command is given, the soldiers gotta have to follow through. But at the same time, it also allows for common sense to prevail. And if the soldier, whether it be the pilot in the air or the soldier on the ground or the armorer inside the tank, if he feels that firing on American citizens who are only doing nothing more than protecting their land, they would have the option to back down. And I know Jerry says they got to follow through, but I'm sorry, I think they do have the ability to think it through and say, no, I'm going to suffer the consequences. I'm going to face court-martial. I'm not shooting on these citizens. Now, if these citizens were in Washington looking to burn down the White House, different scenario, okay? All they're doing is protecting their land, their property, and the people who live there.
Right.
Okay.
They're protecting their border. Protecting their border. And I just think that if an F-16 even flies by, it in a perfect world, in a proper functioning House of Representatives, he would be impeached. And on the letter of the law, the Senate would have to impeach him. The cabinet would have to invoke an Article 25. Because Joe Biden, by issuing the order, I think, to fire on the state of Texas, becomes an enemy of the United States of America, which he already is anyway.
You see, I would think with all the information that's still coming out about the whole theft of the election and the laptop and all this stuff coming out and about what he has done illegally, if he gives a command for F-16s to launch, that could be enough for, I would hope, for the Republicans to start an immediate impeachment of the president for ordering the fire on American citizens. Or enough to start a civil war. I know there are people in the South waiting and willing,
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. All right, there it goes. Robin Stephen Ichabod Palmer is in Missouri. I saw that in the live chat. But I don't see any advantage if Biden gives an order to shoot down the border, fly over Texas and shoot it down, and just allow people to come in. I mean, to me, it would become an act of war. The president can't, the way I see it, he can't launch a war. So if he can't launch a war and he starts a war by shooting on a state.
My opinion, he's already started it just by letting that border be open and sending in the feds to cut the wire and stuff. I mean, that speaks for itself. I mean, actions speak louder than words. Just saying.
No, I understand what you're saying. But, I mean.
Like I said, I have friends that are personally headed down there now. One of them's leaving day after tomorrow, and they're headed to Eagle Pass.
Yep.
Down there, I guess there's 3 different convoys. There's what is his name? Dr. Pete Chambers, I think, is the head of this Take Our Border Back convoy.
Okay.
And I'm starting to follow them quite a bit. And then my friend Harold, he's going to be down there, so I'll have boots on the ground. I'll have intel going on the whole time of what's happening down there. He's going to stay in touch with me.
Yeah.
So I wish I could have went with him. Like I said, I was asked by him, and then another individual's coming through from Chicago, going down, a good friend of mine that I've done Patriot stuff with. And he asked me to go as well, but I feel like I need to stay home right here or stay close.
Yeah.
Did you see the article about Texas legalizes private ownership of F-16s?
No, I haven't.
3 days ago, the Texas Congress has voted to approve a bill that allows for private individuals to own fully armed F-16s.
Wow.
Yeah, but okay, so they say it's okay for you to own one, but I mean, it's not like you run down to the local used car lot or the local plane store and they have F-16s in stock.
Oh, just look on the internet. You'd be surprised what you can buy over the internet.
Yeah, that's actually true.
That's very true.
It's very true. And Facebook Marketplace Facebook is very well aware of what some of the things that are moved through Marketplace. So, I'm sure.
Well, there's a lot of websites out there that would blow your mind of what they're actually selling.
Yeah.
I mean, you could actually buy illegal narcotics on Temu. It's listed under cleaning supplies. It's amazing this crap that it's not the product, it's how they word it or what they label it as.
Right.
It's unreal. And they're doing it blatantly right in front of us. Hell, if you go on Facebook, you can buy psychedelic mushrooms and hash and all kinds of crap. I mean, you see ads pop up all the time about it.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
It is. It's crazy.
It's
crazy.
I go in a swap shop, to look at cars or you get on Facebook and you see something about little kids holding hands, looking up and talking about God, it'll mean something like that. But then you see a dating website with a girl sitting there with a skirt with no panties on, showing everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, what in the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
It's unreal.
Don't even get me started on what I call drive-by porning. Every one of our public groups has a problem with drive-by porn coming in, and Facebook just won't do anything about it. So you don't even want to get me started.
That's like my wife. She belongs to some groups on Facebook. One of them happened to be a coffee group, and owns a Christian group.
Yeah.
So she's going through and she's liking these pictures and so forth. The next freaking thing you know, she clicks on a coffee, whatever, or a Christian verse, and she goes right to a porn site.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're not stupid. And in one of my groups, I removed three of their posts from January 14th. And I went back into the group's news feed yesterday, and I don't know how they did it. I absolutely have no idea how they did it. Hey, Jerry, you're welcome to come on. If you can't, be very active in the live chat. But you are welcome to come on tonight if you are able. And Jen Woodruff, like I said, can't be here tonight. She's on special assignment, which basically means that I forget why she told me she couldn't be here tonight, but she couldn't be here tonight. And I used to always say that someone was on special assignment because I couldn't remember why they weren't here. But Michael Anthony had thought he might be able to stop by later. He wasn't sure. Randy got a link. Like I said, Stephen got a link. Jerry got a link. I can't remember. Plus, it's posted in the Boogie link group if anybody is around. And when you're not watching Boogie with the Bull, watch the American Rebellion over on Rumble now. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. You might see the broadcast posted here on Facebook, but if you are watching the American Rebellion on Rumble on Facebook, you cannot be in the live chat. So if you want to be in the live chat, you need to go over to Rumble and like and follow the American Rebellion channel on Rumble. It's fun. It's the same people that watched it over here on Facebook, but now they're over on Rumble. So go over there and watch them. And as we roll along, what else is going to come out of our mouths, gentlemen, that we can talk about on Thursday night's Boogie with the Bull?
I mean, course, I do a genealogy and I love doing it. You'd be surprised to find the world we live in right now and seeing what is happening, to see where we came from, and we're reliving the exact same issues. We have, back in the day, we had England who was, overtaxing us. They were, causing us to be under the military boot, if you will, forcing us to house their soldiers. Here we are, 250 plus some odd years later. We're being taxed out the asshole. The government's coming down on us to tell us how to live, and now they're telling us to freaking house illegals. I love that the one governor was talking to reporters, and she was saying that she's going to start asking. She said, they're going to start asking people to take in illegals. Now, a day or two later, one of the congressmen at a hearing said, "Okay," so, I live in, in an affluent neighborhood, and my constituents all are influential, and they live in fairly large homes with more than 2 bedrooms. So, who's going to be the first one to open up their doors to an illegal family? No one.
None. And it shouldn't be that way. We Title 42, that basically, if you came in illegally, Title 42 was how they picked you up, they held you, they did whatever they had to do, and usually they just released you into the United States and made it legal for you to be here. But we don't have anything. No, we can't. I can't do it, Jerry, because we don't own. We rent. We live with family, and we couldn't do it. And even though Delilah is a Chihuahua, so she's Mexican by birth, she actually is a legal. She actually is a legal citizen. She was born in the United States, as was her mother and her father.
If I remember correctly, there was some issues where some people actually did bring in illegals, and then they went. The homeowners, the citizens, left the house to do whatever. To come back and find out the locks on the doors were changed, and the illegals took over their home.
Yeah.
And the homeowners had to go to the freaking court to try and regain control of their house, and they lost.
Yeah, a lot of them have lost because they it must be Democrat judges, but it's squatters' rights.
Yeah.
So I would say that if you own a home and you're bringing them in, it's up to you. I mean, I can't tell you that no, you shouldn't do it, but I am going to say no, you shouldn't do it. I mean, this is a war that's going on where you're being asked to house and take care of the enemy who is here in the United States of America, and that is not our responsibility. Because if the border was up like it should have been and being patrolled like it should be, none of these people would be here.
Not to mention the fact, I think I would be afraid if I had, if I was married or had daughters, young girls in the household. I'd be petrified to bring illegal into my household.
Well, back before.
Really, how come none of these people's ever offered that to a homeless veteran?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Well, that's a good argument, Steve. But back when people were going to United States border checkpoints and coming in legally, I believe during the Title 42 process, they would attempt to find a relative that would sponsor you being here. And if they would, then you went and you lived with that relative. But the understanding was that if you broke the law, you, meaning the new American, could be deported, as well as your relative that sponsored you could be deported because you broke the law.
Well, that's when they started going into one of these corporations. Some of these rich people started being sponsors for a lot of these folks and bringing them in here and helping them.
Yeah.
You know, my father did 2 tours in the Vietnam War. Okay, and during his time there, he made friends with a Vietnamese guy, South Vietnamese guy, who would go around the camp and earn money, shining up the airmen's and soldiers' boots and stuff like that. And my dad, built up this, this relationship, this friendship with this guy. So when Vietnam fell, my dad gets a phone call from the Philippines. Guess who it is? It's the South Vietnamese guy looking for a sponsorship. So my dad, out of the kindness of his heart, said, "Sure, we'll sponsor you." So he came over from the Philippines, came and lived with us. A nice guy, did a lot of chores around the house, got himself a job. But then a few months later, we had another phone call. Here, his brother, who was in the Navy, was able to escape along with their 2 sisters. Okay. Would you sponsor us? So my dad said, "Sure, I'll sponsor you."
Oh, God.
My dad had a fairly, nice sized house. So the brother and the 2 sisters came. So now we have the 2 brothers and 2 sisters. All of a sudden, the dynamics changed. In Vietnam, in the absence of a mother and father, the elder son takes leadership role of the family. Can you believe this asshole treated, even though he's in the United States and it's tradition in Vietnam for his sisters to come talk to him, they had to get down on their hands and knees and bow down to him until he acknowledged them for them to start talking to him. Okay. So now this guy wants a car and he wants my dad to pay for it. He wants new clothes. He wants this, he wants that. And they got into these big fights, big arguments. And the Vietnamese guy said, "You're going to do what I'm going to tell you to do. I'm going to call the police." My dad said, "Here's the phone. Call him."
Yeah.
So he did. He called the cops. They came to the house, got, the gist of what's going on. And the cops said to the North Vietnamese guy, "You got to be damn glad that this man took you and your siblings in from a war-torn zone. If I come back here again, you're coming with me." A couple of weeks later, we got a phone call from the Catholic organization. They found a home for the 4 of them, and they left. My dad never heard from him ever since.
Wow.
But I'm sure there are some people who've had good experiences. Okay. But in that situation, you probably have a better experience than you would with these military-aged men coming into our nation. And now you have that one guy who's making threats to the news guy saying, "You will know my name, and you will know it soon."
Oh, God.
Right? And the thought process is this guy's a terrorist, and he's going to do something to make his name well known because of his terrorist act.
We had a bunch come into the locker yesterday in the retail store. They was all military-aged men except for one woman, and she was translating for them, and they was all from Brazil. And that's the first ones I've seen here from Brazil. I'm like, I was really watching them. So like our little community, we got like a popular our county is like a little over 3,500 people in our whole county. Our town's like a population of maybe 1,200, our major town. And it's over. I mean, it's bad. It's overrun with these people. I don't know where they're coming from or where they're staying, or it's nuts.
It won't take much for our country to be overrun. I mean, literally overran by illegals. With the numbers that are crossing the border as it is right now, what was it, like 18, 20 million so far total?
Yeah.
It won't take long.
But then again, when you press China, they say they will never, ever have to invade the United States of America because they've got enough people that came up through Mexico and are already here.
Yeah.
You know?
That really makes me nervous. That makes me nervous for being our county's lawless now. I mean, the highway patrol don't even want to come in here and patrol because they have no backup.
Yep.
And if Smith, the commissioner said the other day, if Smithfield falls and goes belly up like they are in other states around here, that our county's probably going to just be done. They're going to close the courthouse and everything. We'll be separated, probably split up between 3 different counties.
You said Smithfield. That's not the farm company, is it?
Smithfield, yeah, it's owned by China.
Yeah, it's owned by it's now owned by China. It originated down in Rhode Island, in Smithfield, Rhode Island.
Yep.
As an American company. I mean, for many years they were an off-brand, but they were been around for many years.
I don't know. I'm nervous in our area. I really am.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen.
You know, it was only a matter of time. I mean, I've said this on other shows, and I get so sick to my stomach when I think that the Western world, you know, United States, Canada, England, Australia, and and the lines of the Queen Elizabeth went to war against the Nazis, in World War II to defend the world against totalitarianism. And the men fought and they died. They lost arms, they lost limbs, they lost their eyesight, their hearing. And then 45, 50 years later, you might just kiss these nations, the ones I've mentioned, goodbye, because now we're allowing all these Muslims to walk into our nations, okay? They're not doing anything. Hardly any of them are doing anything to become part of the population as far as accepting our ways of our laws and so forth. They're just
bringing their laws in here.
There are lack thereof, and their way of living and their treatment of women and so forth. And there's enough of them in the small towns and county communities to where they're starting to get elected into school boards and local administrative court administrations, and they're just building themselves up into where we have 5 in Congress.
Yeah.
We are turning inside out.
They have a mayor in London. Yeah, I mean it's crazy.
It's sick,
it's crazy to me, and I don't understand it either. It's just like in the last 6 months, it just seems like I woke up one day and nobody cares anymore. I mean, aside from I don't know. We bring William Rayfield from the Patriots Lab, who was invited to join us a few moments ago. So it's a pleasure to have you here, William. I don't know, gentlemen. I don't know when the Patriots Lab runs a lot. I believe it is. I believe I can plug it Tuesdays at 12 noon because I believe Jen Woodruff, the homeschooling mom, is a part of the Tuesday 12 noon broadcast. And so if that is correct and it happens every Tuesday, then I hope everybody that watches Boogie with the Bull, the American Rebellion, shows that Randy does, anything you might see Steven ever do, is catching the Patriots Lab and the Patriots Lab Uncensored as well. Go ahead, Ray.
Oh, just saying good evening, gentlemen. Hi, Cat.
Ray.
I see your tail.
Are you sure it's a cat's tail?
I'm just
Ray,
just
I figured
sitting
you'd
here.
be traveling by now.
No, we're getting everything together now. That's what I've been doing today. We're linking up with rides and everything. So got some Patriots that'll be coming this way through Michigan, and I'll be hopping on board. We're trying to get a couple of more people to join in on the ride and see what Texas has in store. You know, they say they do it big in Texas.
Yep.
So
I hope all of you guys that are heading down there will keep in touch. Keep in touch with me, and anytime I am available, I would love to bring you on live and get us covered down there.
That's where I'll be starting my new relaunch. I'll be starting my new relaunch on all my platforms, on the road, getting back on the road for campaign season. Yes. It's that time. It's that time.
Yeah.
Trying to catch up with 47.
I had a goal when I first launched Boogie with the Bull to be able to take it out probably a couple of days a month and be in a different state every month.
Hey, Gina.
Hey, Gina. And David Novar, good evening to you. Gina Scott, good evening to you. Michael Anthony is in the live chat. I'm doing great, Michael. Just an impromptu discussion of whatever comes out of our mouths tonight. Michael, you do have a link. You're more than welcome to come on and join us if you wish. And the more the merrier. And so we continue along with where we were, or Ray, bring something into the conversation.
Well, we are getting ready to obviously with the Biden administration persisting on going full steam ahead with their agenda. It looks like the rubber's getting ready to hit the road. There's an estimated 25 to 30,000 illegal migrants that are supposed to be making a statement come February 2nd by rushing the border to get over to the United States. Where at the same time, there should be an estimated 10 to 15,000 American patriots. And I hear up to 5,000 will be deputized by Governor Abbott to help secure the border. I forgot that shit even exists, but we are talking about Texas. And I had to go start watching old clips of Bonanza and shit so I can get into what they was doing back in the day with this type of stuff.
Yeah.
But it looks like Texas don't mess around. I'm starting to realize what Texas and Oklahoma and Nebraska and Utah and Wyoming and Montana. I'm starting to see what they all about.
Raymond, supposedly Biden is giving Abbott until tomorrow to start cutting down his barbed wire.
Yep.
Do you think Abbott's going to cave?
No. Greg Abbott has been adding on barbed wire. So for Joe Biden to give him a second chance to take it down would be stupid because he gave him the chance the first time. And what did Abbott do? He put up more barbed wire. He doubled down on the barbed wire. So
I heard the governor
said, F Joe Biden.
I heard Governor Abbott is having a special welcome post made for Joe Biden out of razor wire so that he can personally wave to them as they try to come into Texas.
I don't know about all that, but I do know on a serious note that Florida stands loyal, Georgia stands loyal, Arizona stands loyal, Montana stands loyal. South Carolina stands loyal. Only thing I can get
Missouri.
out of this is war.
Yeah.
Because
added
Civil
Missouri
War
to
is
that
coming, folks.
But,
Missouri's been added.
Ray, even with Biden doing acts of war, if Pelosi was the Speaker of the House right now, she would, I'm sure, be in his face reminding him that he can't declare war.
that's all. That's all over. That's all over. All the talk is done.
F-16, I know, but the F-16s going to Texas are an act of war. And I profess to be the only guy on the panel that doesn't know anything about anything. So my question to you is, if Biden says to the F-16 commanders, scramble the boys up and send them to Texas, is that an act of war on the United States of America?
Listen, Linda. I don't come on. Nobody's show to be disrespectful, but we went through this last time. The military is not going to turn on itself. The National Guard is the military. The Army and the Marines aren't going to go beat up their little brothers. That just might be the first declaration that is unlawful that Joe Biden has given to the government that they're waiting for to be able to turn on his ass. The first unlawful order given to them is to turn on their younger brothers.
Okay.
That's not going to happen. So I don't want to get upset about it.
Did he call you? Dave, did he call you Linda?
Everybody stop for a second. We're not carrying on the conversation about military attacking military. My question that I asked you was that if Joe Biden, President of the United States, tomorrow morning, January 26th, says to the F-16 commanders, scramble up your men and women in those planes and send them to Texas to bomb out that razor wire.
They can't, because they would be attacking the National Guard.
Okay.
We're going back to what we were just talking about.
No, what I'm saying is what I'm saying is this is more than that. I'm saying if Biden orders the F-16s to Texas, he's declaring war on Texas. Forget about the military and who they are and where they came from and how they fit into the equation and what equipment they may or may not have. If Joe Biden sends the F-16s, orders the F-16s to Texas, and they go, that's an act of war. Now, based on that being an act of war, the president, Joe Biden, cannot declare a war. So then if the House and the Senate were working the right way, wouldn't they have to bump the man off?
I don't
right away.
I can't. The type of person I am, I can't live on hypothesis. I can't live on things that I know will never happen.
It's not a hypothesis. It's a question of.
But I can't answer that because it's something that I know will never happen. If Joe Biden tomorrow morning woke up and called Langley Air Force Base and got a colonel on the phone and said, go send F-16s to Texas, that colonel's going to say, what the fuck you want me to do? Have him just fly over and do a tilt and say hi? Okay, what do you want me to do? And then what? Because he's not just going to jump in a plane and go fly to Texas. Right. He's going to have some orders. So what is the order going to be? What is his mission going to Texas?
I mean, I can see an attempt of the F-16s to somehow blow up the line of barbed wire along the southern border.
They can't do that. That is not pinpoint accuracy enough without taking out some of your National Guards, bro. Them things make craters in the ground, bro. Anything within a 50 feet radius is going with the barbed wire. So,
but we're talking about a commander in chief who doesn't have commander in chief capacity of his mind anymore. Who knows what he's thinking?
okay, so now we have to go all the way back. I don't care what Joe Biden is thinking. He is not going to get an Air Force fighter jet pilot to drop a bomb on no damn barbed wire. I just can't go in those type of conversations because y'all talk about stuff that I feel is never going to happen. So I can't even imagine it. So I can't put it in no type of context because I could never fathom it ever happening. So I couldn't even make a hypothetical out of it. I can't because
okay. So let's go the other route then. Biden said that by tomorrow, Governor Abbott has to start tearing down the barbed wire. What is his, what I'm looking for? What will force Abbott to bow down to Biden's demands to tear down? I mean, are we talking? Can the president remove him from office? Can the president have him arrested? What other than a military attack?
Greg Abbott is standing on the Constitution of the United States of America, Article 4, Section 5, Article 4, Section 3, which Joe Biden. I don't know. I'm not into. I don't know. I let you know, like I let my followers know, I'm not an article person. The only thing I ever thought an article was something you get in a newspaper. So I'm learning about articles now. But you got Article 4, Section 10. Case 3 or something like that Joe Biden is not doing, which in turn gives Greg Abbott the authority to invoke Article 1 in Section 10. It's all in the Constitution. That's all I care about. As long as it's in black and white and I can look at it and logically and use common sense and say, okay, yeah. He ain't protecting you, bro. Yeah, you're right. You do got the right to protect yourself.
But as we know, the Democrats don't have as we have seen proof of, the Democrats don't give a world of shit about the Constitution.
So
right. Well, that's why I'm saying that if the Constitution says that Biden's breaking the law, right now he's not going to be impeached because the Democrats own the Senate and they're not going to approve a Republican majority House impeachment.
That is going by two different constitutions as well. He's going by the United States Constitution and he's going by the Texas Constitution as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And the Texas Constitution says that Joe Biden can hop on a stake and pound sand.
One thing is for sure, and I'm so glad I'm me. I've stood on this for 8 years, going on 8 years now. America. I love saying this for the past 6 years. America will never, ever cease being America. We're going to go through some shit. We're going to go through some hard times. But you got to be able to weather the storm. You got to be able to weather the storm, just like Donald Trump has weathered the storm. You know why he can weather the storm? Because that's what a real man does. That's what a real alpha man does. There's no lie that can break him. There's no agenda that can break him. There's no ulterior motives that can break him. When you're standing on the truth, you just got to be able to ride it out. The truth is always going to prevail. You know why? Because in the end, God always wins. God always wins in the end. It's looking ugly right now, but it's not over. It's not over. Things are happening. Dean Phillips, Democratic candidate running for president against Joe Biden, said, I can't take it no more. I got to go to a Trump rally and see what the Americans see that I don't see.
It's all
And
that.
the love that he got when he got there touched his heart so. That's what gives me hope. That right there is what gives me hope. See, at the end of the day, we're all Americans. It just takes some others a little bit longer to remember that. That's all.
Okay, but okay, I don't mean to sound argumentative, but the question really had nothing to do with Donald Trump. The question had to do with Joe Biden. If he sends the F-16s into Texas as president of the United States.
You guys have a great night. Enjoy your show. Keep grinding.
Okay, I'm sorry. And I will apologize, although I'm not supposed to apologize when I do things. But the question really had nothing to do with Donald Trump. The question had nothing to do with America needs to wait for Donald Trump. Boogie with the Bull has always worked because I get the questions that people down here who don't have a clue and don't understand want to get asked. And I hope I'm asking the people that have some knowledge and can bring that knowledge to a broadcast. I mean,
I can't see an F-16 fighter pilot firing on our own people.
Right. Well, that's where. Well, right. I don't see that happening either.
Unless it's one of the deep staters that just don't give a shit. That's got the whole black heart like Joe Biden and his crony.
But I think. But then I think if that happens, then I think the Secretary of Defense has some explaining to do.
Oh, if that happens, there ain't gonna be no time for him to explain shit because it's gonna be an all-out civil war.
Well, no. I understand that, but the first thing that should happen, right? If Biden were to send,
be attacking Texas and the Texas National Guard and Governor Abbott, they're gonna be they're gonna be attacking Missouri National Guard. They're gonna be attacking Florida National Guard. There's a bunch of National Guards down there. I was confirmed today that we have National Guard from Missouri down there helping. So
okay.
So
yeah, if Biden does a military attack against Texas, he is essentially attacking 25 states.
Yeah,
I understand. Right, and hopefully that's enough to, those 20. We got 26. We got a majority. Boom.
The thing they're trying to get us to do is they're trying to get us, the Patriots, to shoot the first part of the first bullet, dude. That's what they're.
Of course they are. Of course they are.
That's exactly. Of course they are. And that's why we got to stay vigilant. We have to. I'm not even in the military habit, but I have military family that always told me, friends that tell me, stay vigilant. Just watch everything around you and just wait. Yep. Act before you react.
Yeah.
So. That's the ultimate reason I didn't go down to Texas myself, because I knew I could go, but if I do, something happens down there, I'm not going to be peaceful. I'm not going to be friendly anymore. I'm done.
Yeah. And just so you guys know, William had to jump off. He's having a video call of up to 50 patriots to talk about taking back our country and our border, and about the convoy going down to Texas. That's when he had to jump off.
Okay, if that's what you want to say, that's okay.
That's what he texted.
That's when he texted you. Okay, I'm fine. Okay, I'm not gonna question. I'm not gonna question into it. I've
been on the phone with people that's going today too, and that's what they're doing. They're prepping. They're loading their campers.
Right. I understand that. Like I said, I ask questions that I think people who have not paid enough attention want to understand, or people that don't understand. Because to me, like I said, the whole thing, my thought pattern this morning during my morning coffee was that if Joe Biden sends the F-16s to Texas, even if they fly over Texas and don't do anything other than fly over Texas, that alone should be considered an act of war. Because the president is saying that if you're not doing what I want you to do as your president, I'm gonna invade your state, or bombs are going to invade your state, and the border is going to be destroyed so it can be opened again.
Okay, but Dave, with that thought pattern, the Chinese spy satellites going across our entire nation, wouldn't that be considered a
they should have been?
Yeah.
I don't know, because I'm hypothesizing on what exactly. I mean, we know what they were doing. We know where they were. They should have been blown out. I don't believe they should have been blown out of the sky where they were, because what it sounded like Biden was saying, even though he's a Democrat, but he's a Democrat that doesn't understand what the right side of his brain is telling the left side of his brain to say. I think what Biden was trying to say is, well, actually, I don't know. If I was president and that thing was flying over, the only thing I could do was either try to get it away out over water or something, and then blow it out of the sky, because you never know what was inside of that balloon. My biggest fear was that it was some strain of COVID was packed. I mean, that was a huge balloon. It was carrying that, I figured it was carrying some bioweapon that they were gonna. They knew that if we blew it out of the sky, it was going to rain down on us. And maybe that's not what it was, but yeah,
Well, there was another act of war down on the border months ago with the IEDs that was found, man, for the Border Patrol. Biden should have, that's an act of war right there in itself, and something should have been done then.
Yeah, we should. Well, something that should have been done was when Trump was president, they should have finished the damn wall.
Yep.
As far as they can. I mean, from what I understand, there is a portion of the southern border that goes through an Indian reservation, and there's just no way in hell that portion is ever going to have the border wall on it. But from what I understand, listening to Daryl Rector and listening to Steve Tolliver when he was on broadcast, is you don't want to enter the United States illegally through an Indian reservation, because Indian justice, the way Stephen made it sound, is nothing like what you get in an American state.
I take this convoy. I'm hoping that they make a statement like the farmers in Germany are. I really hope they do, but I pray for them. I hope they're safe, because I think they're going to get down in some sticky situations, especially when there's already conflict between our federal government and the state and local government.
Okay. All right. Jerry, flying an F-16 to Texas is not an act of war. Okay. I need someone to tell me what it is, because it's not protecting the border. It's flying to Texas to try to persuade Texas to do something that they're not going to do, that they don't have to do, that the president is upset over a governor doing something in their state that evidently the Constitution that governor follows says.
You know what I think awful damn funny is Biden's so worried about the damn border all of a sudden, but the man's not even been to the freaking border. Neither is Kamala Harris.
I think she's been there, but she didn't stay long enough.
She was 60 miles from the border. She never actually went to the border.
I don't think he's ever been to the border.
I think the closest she got was 60 miles.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. But I mean, it's pathetic for them to try to dictate what's going on at the border when they've never even been there. They don't know what's happening. I mean, hell, they've taken up in the Capitol. They've showed them bracelets. They showed them IDs. They showed them passports. They showed them footage, and they don't want to take accountability. Hell, they're still blaming Trump for the damn border. I mean, hell, it's all over the news.
Of course they are.
It's Trump's reason. He's the one that is creating this where the border. There's no solution to the border. It's not Trump. It's over. I'm tired of hearing about Trump getting blamed.
He got the money to build the damn wall.
Yeah,
they built as much of it as they could. They got the panels are somewhere being stored. The panels for the Trump wall are somewhere being stored, fenced around Biden panels for the wall.
Well, some of them was sold by Biden too, from what I understand.
Well, probably. And that's another thing. If he sold, that wasn't his stuff to sell.
I wonder who bought him. I wonder who bought them for what reason.
Probably China, to keep America out.
Maybe Biden did it to put it around his house.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, I honestly think that the next Biden house is going to be at Gitmo, and he's not going to need those panels around there.
Well, no, but theoretically, legally, if we were following the law of the land, all these people who have done what they've done should be tried as traitors. And the last I saw, the hanging was still part of the laws for traitors.
It is, but then again, remember, the House is Republican, and they're going to say, "Yeah, this person needs to hang," and the Democrats that own the Senate are going to say, "No."
Hang them all day long until we start seeing it physically, where we can get some faith back in our government and see that it's actually happening. I don't give two shits. I want to see it actually happening.
Yeah. I don't think
because I'm not going to take nobody's word for nothing anymore. Period.
It's not. Well, no. Before anybody gets hung, it's going to go all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court doesn't even know.
Well, some of them need to be pulled out and hung too, because they're part of the damn problem.
Yeah, they don't know.
Look what they just did. They went against Trump, and they gave in to Biden. The three of them.
Yeah,
the three that Trump put in place who went against Trump.
Yep.
I never did like Amy Coney Barrett from the day he vouched for her. For some reason, I don't know. I get gut instincts, and she just like that House Speaker we got now. I don't like him either. I just can't stand Mike Johnson. I think they're like Mike Pence, Benedict Arnolds is what I call them. Turncoats.
Yeah.
But you see a lot of people that Trump's endorsed and got him in positions they are, and now they're turning their backs on him. I mean, look at him.
They got what they wanted.
Yeah. And that New Hampshire deal the other night, did you see on the Democrat side, Biden was down at 4%. They had write-ins. It was like 60-some%. That Phillips was like 20-some%, but they still gave it to Biden, and he lost. I didn't understand that at all.
Say that to me again.
The other night at the New Hampshire caucus.
Right.
Okay, they had it for the Republicans, but then they had it going on for the Democrats there as well.
Right.
They had write-ins was like 68% at the final tally. That Phillips or whatever his name was like 20-some%. Biden was at 4%. So they didn't name the write-in, but they named Phillips, and Phillips beat him. So why is not Phillips being, you know what I mean, the Democratic nominee instead of Biden? Because Biden lost his ass.
There's
cheating.
It's not necessarily cheating, but evidently within the rules of the two parties' conventions and nominating a presidential nominee, they can go into their convention whenever it is, and they don't have to accept Biden. They can they can bounce him and bring in somebody else. And that seems to be a rumor that's going around a lot lately, that when it gets to the convention, he's not going to be the Democrat nominee for president.
Right.
Who it will be, I don't know. Some people seem to say Jerry seems to say Gavin Newsom, the governor of California. I don't necessarily agree. I agree that I don't think America wants Newsom as the governor, as the president of the United States.
I think they're going to do a rope a dope and bring in damn Michael Obama is what I think.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I think they're going to bring that fool in there.
I think they're going to try, but I don't see how. Well, I mean, they'll cheat. They'll cheat to get Michael elected, but I don't see any way that I can't see any Republican I know going to the polls and voting for Barack's husband.
Nikki Haley?
No, I don't see any Republican doing that either. But evidently, she's raising enough money to stay in, or she's getting enough money to stay in.
Democrats.
Right, and that was my question at the beginning before anybody joined me, was that what is the chance that she stays in right down to the end of the primaries and the convention, and the delegates who are going enrolled to Trump, I believe, don't have to vote for Trump. They can vote for anybody they want at the nominating convention. So could it be that that's going to happen? I hope it doesn't, because I can't see in anything that I've watched of Nikki Haley from ambassador up to now that shows any chance of being president or any reason for being president other than maybe she's a lady,
Well, you got Democrats up the Republican caucus in New Hampshire voting for her. I mean, come on, and we're allowing that.
Yeah. So I don't know. I do not know. But it is coming up on 8:30, and I did promise my wife that we would wrap this up by 8:30 so that she could get to bed on a regular time, because she's working again tomorrow morning. So, Randy, you want to put your parachute on and say goodnight first, plug All Roads Lead to Home, and tell everybody that in 15 minutes he can go back 5 generations, and maybe you'll have royalty, because I think I'm the only person I know that All Roads Lead to Home Genealogy Service did. They went back farther than 5 generations and couldn't find any royalty. But go ahead, Randy.
So, I love history. I love family history. I love the history of our nation, how it came to be. I don't know if you guys took notice, but while we're here chit chatting, and I was working on this one gentleman's family. Turns out that his family had some all good stuff going on, so I've been working on that. But like I mentioned earlier, our nation is repeating exactly where we were almost 200 years ago at the beginning of our nation. The people are fighting against the Biden regime, which to me is the English government. We're fighting taxation without representation. We're fighting the fact that they want us to house illegals. We are exactly where we were back in 1774, 75, 76, and we went to war and we kicked ass. Now, yes, weapons are different today. I understand that. But it doesn't matter. We have to stand up as a people to defend ourselves against a tyrant. The South is a great representation of this. These idiots are destroying the statues, the monuments, the paintings, the history, the heritage of an entire 12, 13 states, because they didn't like the fact that we actually tried to secede from the nation to create a new nation. They are now pushing us to do the exact same thing they did want to do 150 years ago. So my job is to find people's heritage, Sometimes I find good stuff. Sometimes I find bad stuff. So I let the people up front know that when I use my 12 different services, I do a deep dive search, and you'd be surprised what I'm going to find for you. 15 minutes for free. I can get back at least 5-6 generations. And it is a look into what I can do for you. Sometimes that free look-see gets the person what they want, and they say, thank you, have a nice day, and they go off their own. But in more cases than not, the people are amazed how much I can find in just that 15, 20 minutes. And they sign on board. My fees are very cheap. I actually worked out, when I take away my expenses of what I do for a customer, I'm like $3.48 an hour compared to $45 an hour. But I do a hell of a lot more than they do. So, folks, if you're looking to do your thing, reach out to me on All Roads Lead to Home Genealogy. And now it is time to
Randy Rose, All Roads Lead to Home. We see him on the broadcast a lot. Stephen Palmer, Tina Scott asked if you have any ability to go live on your own.
Not yet. Maybe here soon.
Okay.
I'm gonna be checking into it if I can get the time.
Okay.
So I am going to go do a audit at our courthouse tomorrow. It's going to be a short video. I'm going to do an audit. It's going to be going to Richard Citizen Journalist, and it'll be posted on his page here soon.
Okay. I will say this. I will say this to you. I have StreamYard, and if you decide that you want to go live, whatever time you want to do it. It's not hard to learn to operate. I will add you to my account, and you can go. You can go. We'll have to add some destinations because you can't. Yeah, we have to add destinations that you want to have. But Facebook gets upset if other people share other people's destinations and all. But we'll talk through all of that. But if you want to go live and you have a day and a time that you want to do that, then I will talk with you and we will get you added to my StreamYard, and you are more than welcome to use it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to do a live video, or I'm going to do a video tomorrow and send it to Richard in regards to our corruption, what's going on in our county.
Okay.
I would like to. It's going to be a little different. Normally, I tell everybody to stay vigilant, watch your six, and God bless you. But we all need to be praying for our country. We need to be praying for our Texas Governor Abbott, our National Guard, and our military. And we need to be praying for this convoy heading down there. I feel that something's going to be kicking off here in a few days, and I think it's going to get very interesting. So, everybody, watch your six. Hold on your seats because it's going to get real bumpy, I believe.
Our prayers go to you and Darlene and your sons, and if anyone in particular, our prayers go to your son who is sitting in a cell somewhere when he should be at home with his family.
Right. So, thank you, Dave. God bless you guys.
Right. Thank you. Yeah.
Right.
All right. Ichabod Palmer, him around. I will work something out with him. I will throw out what I have thrown out before. I stopped promoting it because no one really ever followed up on it. But I used to tease it as being Boogie with the Bull boot camp, where if you want to come on and wet your feet doing a broadcast, and then decide that you are ready and you want to go off and do your own, provided it is within the realm of conservative patriot politics, then I will consider granting people access to the Boogie with the Bull StreamYard account and all the magic that we have on Facebook to help get you shared all over Facebook everywhere we can. And even get you out a few places off of Facebook where we want to be. Anyway, I want to put this up on the screen because I couldn't just put it in there while we were doing it. But Stephen Tolliver posted at 8:03 this evening. It is with some regret, but at the end of the month, I'll be leaving Facebook for good, going to end my 50-year fight against a tyrannical government, taking my entire family to Montana to live out our lives free from the federal government. I guess it's congratulations on on being able to do that, Stephen. I'm sad to see you leave Facebook. Actually, I'm not sad to see you leave Facebook in the sense that the way people get treated on Facebook. I'm sad to see you leave Facebook as being a source that I've appreciated having on broadcasts. And scrolling through the comments, I want to thank Jane O'Malley for watching, Tina Scott for watching, and Tina, we'll get something worked out with Ichabod as fast as we can. Jane O'Malley, you didn't miss anything. I just said normally we would go until 9 o'clock, but I promised my wife I would be done by 8:30 so that she could get to bed because she works earlier than usual tomorrow morning. Jolene Kirkland Foster, pleasure to see you here, Stephen. It's always a pleasure, but I guess we won't see you here anymore. The American Rebellion, Jerry Michaels, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern. As I said, Jerry Michaels is there, Daryl Rector, Nikki Young, Jen, the homeschooling mom, Woodruff, and a whole bunch of others. I'm even there sometimes. And yep, an alternative to watch. If you do your own broadcast on social media somewhere and it's of interest to conservative patriots, let me know and I'll plug it. Or you can come on a Boogie with the Bull sometime and talk about it. Anyway, this is the part of the program where I tell you you've been watching Boogie with the Bull, a copyrighted presentation of the No Budget Broadcasting Company. And to the clowns in Facebook China who have again sent a copyright violation to Facebook claiming that you own the song Boogie with the Bull, come to the United States and you play your version of Boogie with the Bull for Facebook, and I'll play my version of Boogie with the Bull for Facebook, and hopefully this will stop. It happens about every 6 months, and it's really just pointless. It's really just pointless. Hopefully my 6 days of not being able to share that got kicked to 2 days, that got kicked back to 3 days, that got kicked to 4 days, that got kicked to 48 hours, got kicked to 32 minutes. Hopefully it will expire tomorrow or Monday or Tuesday, because we all know that when something ends on Facebook on a weekend, it usually carries till Monday or Tuesday. So I appreciate everybody who is sharing in the groups American Regulators, Boogie with the Bull, True Patriot Talk, Conservative Freedom Defenders with Art Sessa, which is growing, Mega News Nation, which is with Vita Marie. Vita Marie, and it is growing, and the Great American Nation is back. The Hardcore Conservatives group is still here. Red Patriots for America is still here, and the new baby Who's With Me, a Trump supporting group through the November 24 election and beyond. So join those groups, and you'll be informed. Anyway, it's time for me to go to bed. I'm 9 minutes late. So double V's for victory. This Boogie with a Bull broadcast is coming to an end.